Yo, people, what you telling me back again?
You telling me? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Oh
Can you
yeah,
not
yeah.
hear me?
It's good now. It's good now. What did you say, my guy?
I said, yo, you can see the comment on the screen, blood. Is it a good signing, bruv? We might as well get straight in. The people are here. They want to know, fam.
Well, do you know what it is, fam? Like I've been discussing this for so much, but it's like I think it is a decent signing. Obviously, my first issue would be there's not really a like for like. I know he can play the same role differently, but to Partey, it's not really a direct replacement. I think he brings a wealth of experience. I can see why Mikel Arteta would like him. He fits into our football. I mean, when I looked at Edu talking about a signing like him continues our, our momentum and things, I kind of get it. And he does provide experience. I am looking at midfield a bit sideways because although I'm happy with obviously getting free in the door, you look at Xhaka, Partey, Jorginho, and El Nene, they're kind of the wrong side of 30. Clearly, they can offer something, but there's not really longevity there. So in many ways, we've added centre mid depth, but we haven't. But isolated to Jorginho, I'm for it. And a couple comments are coming out with Thiago Silva, and Arteta said it, how he's a big man, he's got mentality and all these things. So I'm here for it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, he finished third on the Ballon d'Or list, so it's time to move shameless, isn't it? This is the pedigree.
Nah,
Trying to
hey,
bring
you
it.
know, no, it is though. No, it is with this thing. I thought Arsenal had a policy for over 30s. I thought they did. I'm not really sure what's going on with the Jorginho thing. And also, when I look at you guys' track record of taking Chelsea players, it hasn't really gone that well, like that.
It
So
looks fugazi. Apart from Eddie, it's fugazi. It's very
it looks
fugazi. It's
mad,
fugazi.
bro. So when I'm looking at the whole picture, it's looking a bit smelly, bro. I'll be real. And also, as much as I don't rate Lokonga, at least he had legs, bro. Like you've literally got no legs apart from Partey in the midfield, and El Neni's obviously got the injury worries. If you have to have Jorginho and Xhaka in midfield, yeah, for a prolonged amount of time, I feel like
Let's just hope we don't lose the ball, innit?
it's gonna be. This is what I'm saying. In transition, bro, it's a bit mad. On the
But
ball, I think at home for Arsenal, Jorginho is gonna be amazing, bro, because he'll help control the game. Do you know what I mean? He'll keep teams pressed back. Do you know what I'm saying? And he'll do all the nice stuff, bro. Like he's a nice player, just like Odegaard's a nice player as well on the ball. Xhaka's not really a nice player like that. But when you've got them nice players at home, when the crowd's up,
can
when the
get away with it,
momentum's
yeah.
going, amazing. But away from home, when man got them stinky games, where man might have to kind of rough it out a bit, Jorginho's
Trenches.
legs are gonna be found wanting blood.
I mean, the only thing I can say in relation to that, I'm not one for the stats, but his interceptions and things look a bit better. And the kind of like, if me and you can highlight his weaknesses, surely Mikel Arteta can. This is a man who you're seeing all the stuff come out, how Arteta wanted him when he was at City and this, that, and the third. So if he knows how to negate his weaknesses and hide him within this system, I'm all for it, similar to what he's doing with Granit Xhaka. But I'm here for Jorginho, especially the main point being when it gets crunch time, if we are in a title race, I don't check the league table and we're doing what we're doing in Europa League. We need cool heads so he can provide that. The only issue I have with Jorginho is not actually anything with himself, because in isolation, like you said, he's a nice player and that. And although I admire Arteta and Eddie for getting something over the line, where was he on the list of targets? Because, the Moses thing didn't bang, that guy Zubamendi didn't bang, this but didn't bang, that didn't bang. So how high was he up the list, really and truly? And it's kind of another thing where we haven't really been able to get our top targets when they're highly publicized and things.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, I know when you said about negating his weaknesses, but I feel like that is putting a runner next to him, someone with legs. You don't
You
have
have
a
to.
Kante. Do you know what I'm
That's
saying?
the
Like,
thing.
cool Party and Jorginho could work, but Jorginho and Xhaka doesn't work.
All I can say to that is when you look at Mikel Arteta off the ball, where you see with Odegaard, whether it's Eddie or Jesus, we're just gonna have to do that little bit more, man. I agree with what you're saying. Is for me, it's more defensively. I think I'm kind of not that I want him to do, not succeed and whatnot, but I'm kind of braced to see him lose the ball in the middle third and then it's kind of peak from there. But I'm gonna give the man a chance, man. It's just for me, it's. If you would have told me would have brought in Jorginho at the start of January, I probably wouldn't have gone for it. I probably would have expected someone else in addition to him. And yeah, man, it's just a case of getting one over the line. We've obviously got some other midfield options, but I don't know. I'd like to think Jorginho comes off the bench and just helps us, like you said, just be a tidy footballer, maintain possession and things. But as you said, if we ain't got bodies and most importantly legs around him, then it's we're just setting the guy up to fail essentially. So I hope that's not the case, fam.
That's it. A man said we're forgetting Zinchenko in the midfield. Bruv, Zinchenko, inverts, but he's still your left back, bro. Like he's not gonna play midfield for Arsenal. So like that's not that goal. Yeah, he does it for his country and that, but he's gonna invert. He's gonna pick up midfield positions, but he's gonna play left back for you because that's what Arteta liked. And as far as saying got legs all over the pitch, that doesn't mean anything, bro. Like the goal is in the middle of the pitch. The middle of the pitch is where you need to be. You need to have your shit patterned, bro. The spine of the team is the most important part of the team because the goal's in the middle
Especially
of
in
the
the
pitch.
modern day, man, with the
Yeah,
athleticism and all this stuff in midfield.
bro. The goal's in the middle of the pitch, and you have to protect the goal. So anything in the middle of the pitch, if there's weaknesses in the middle of the pitch, you will be found wanting. That's why Liverpool are dying right now. Middle of the pitch,
Exactly,
bro. You
great point. Really, yeah, they
know
should
what
have.
I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
know you lot bought Shabit, so we obviously got Jorginho. I would have imagined Liverpool needed to address midfield probably more than both our clubs.
Bro, they've got nothing in the spine. They
It's
don't have a
ridiculous.
central striker that's scoring goals or holding the ball. They've got a midfield that you can just run straight through. Do you know what I mean? And their centre defensive partnership seems to be changing very, very often because players can't stay fit or players are off form or whatever. The spine of their team is wounded,
It's
bro. And
looking
because of
mad,
that, the
yeah.
club's falling apart.
It's looking mad for Liverpool at the moment, man. Really and truly, we're midfield. They
Same with
need to
Chelsea,
get Bellingham and all them guys that they're linked with. Probably need Moses more than us as well. Really, they were linked with him
bro.
before us.
And it's the same with Chelsea as well to a certain degree. Not so much now, but before it was the spine they needed to address. Central midfielders, they've done that. They've brought in Enzo. Do you know what I mean? They've spent a lot of money. They brought in another centre back. They're trying to address their spine, bro. The spine's the most important part. So when you're adding to the spine, you need to make sure that that is very strong. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, like if you go into a situation where you're playing Xhaka and Jorginho against a dynamic midfield, that's when we'll see what will happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Because so far Eddie's done a good job coming in, deputizing for Jesus. Obviously, they don't play the same kind of football, but he brings his own qualities that
What a
Jesus
shifting,
don't
yeah.
have. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's done a job. Like Jesus hasn't been missed as much as people thought he would have. Obviously, he's been missed for what he brings, but Eddie's made up for it in different ways.
That's probably the one good thing this season when we have missed a couple of players. People have come in and done well, and that's kind of why I'm a bit kind of calmer, if you could say, with Jorginho, because it's not like we're kind of fragmented as a football club. He doesn't necessarily walk into the starting lineup because you've got Xhaka and Partey. I mean, there's a lot of concerns, there's a lot of positives to like. I mean, he's just gonna have to see on the pitch, really, man. I hope that he's come here with the mentality to prove people wrong. As you kind of said at the beginning, we kind of, you're kind of already not really given much of a chance when we buy you from Chelsea because it don't look good. I'm sure you don't want to sit on the bench. You're 31, so you haven't really got time to waste. It's fun and games for the Eddies, the Sakas, and these guys because they've still got their best years in front of them. In a couple of years, you're done. You've got 18-month contract or something like that. So we're gonna have to see, man. Really.
No, facts. Facts, man. Said Liverpool by no one end up giving James Milner a new 10-year contract. Bro, them man are finished, bro. Like it went from being real good to real shit supporting Liverpool like almost overnight, bro. Like
Yeah.
them man were the loudest in the room, at one point, like the Klopp, this, that, and the other, that heavy metal football, all of this Champions League finals. Bro, it must feel like so long ago for them man, that them man were in Champions League finals playing Real Madrids and that, like talking all this world-class Salah and all this Ballon d'Or talk and all these other things to where they are now, bro. It's crazy. And Chelsea are spending their way out of trouble. And Liverpool, I don't even think they brought anyone in the window, did they? Just
I
Gakpo.
can't, Yeah. Actually, only Cody Gakpo really who's gonna, need to be taking a minute to adapt. I think Liverpool's problem was, I'm not gonna say they haven't brought in players, but a bit like Spurs under Pochettino when it was Dele Alli and Kane, they didn't really build on it, make tough decisions, and really just keep evolving as a football club. A lot of Liverpool's players were there for the present, and really in the last 18 months, 2 years, have they looked to bring in the Jotas, the Gakpos, the Nunez's, the Diaz's, etc., etc. But they need some surgery immediately, or it's curtains, man. It's almost like Mane knew what time it was, and maybe indirectly Origi as well.
Trust me, that man got out at the right time. And